Recording. Hello, and welcome back to the Builder's Edge. Today's episode is a little different. This is a solo episode, and it's a special one because we're in the Christmas season, a season of reflection, gratitude, and remembering why we do what we do in the first place, right? So I want to start by saying thank you. I started this podcast back in February, and I've released an episode every single week since then. And that's only possible because of the incredible guests who've joined me, builders, business owners, and experts who have poured their wisdom, their honesty, and encouragement into this community. Not to mention Tim and his crew that have been making it possible and looking so great. But if you've been a guest on this show, or if you've been a listener from the beginning, or even if this is your first episode, I want to thank you. You are the reason this podcast exists. So I want to take you back for a moment and share why I started the Builder's Edge in the first place. I grew up in the construction business. I'm a contractor's daughter. I grew up on job sites, around tools, around builders, people who work hard, who show up early, who solve problems, and who build things that last. Well, later in life, I owned an interior decorating and designing business, and I actually was doing the construction myself on that business. And I didn't just design all the construction, everything. I had clients lined up. Business was strong. And then the housing market crashed almost overnight. Everything changed. Realtors weren't selling homes anymore. Clients I had lined up suddenly gone. Some of my clients, good people, were telling me they had family members who had just lost their jobs and they needed to help and support them. The industry that I had known my whole life as a stable industry suddenly felt barren. And in that season, I had to do something builders are often forced to do. I had to pivot. I had to figure out how to broaden my offering, expand my thinking, and learn a side of business that most contractors are never taught. That season forced me to learn the business side of building, marketing, systems, visibility, and sustainability. And what I realized was this. If you can master the business side of your trade, if you understand how to be found, how to communicate your value, how to build systems that support you, you don't just survive, you sustain. And that's when something clicked for me. I thought, if I had to learn this the hard way, maybe I can help other builders learn it sooner. I have a special place in my heart for contractors and local service-based business owners, especially those trying to be found locally. These are the people who keep communities running, the plumbers, the painters, the roofers, the electricians, remodelers, the handymen and women, all these builders. And yet they're often the ones struggling the most to understand marketing, technology, and visibility in a digital world. So I asked myself, how can I serve them best? And that's when the idea for the podcast was born. I thought this podcast would be about teaching. And it sure is. But what I didn't expect is how much I would learn along the way. Every guest, every conversation, every story has reminded me that we're all building something, and we're better when we build together. So I've truly been having a ball doing this, and I'm so grateful for this community. And well, since this is the Christmas episode, I want to pause right here for a minute. First and foremost, I am grateful for Jesus Christ, our Savior, whose birth we celebrate during this season. And there's something that has always touched my heart deeply. Jesus was raised as a son of a carpenter, and he grew up around tools, woodworking, and building. I'm a contractor's daughter, and he was a contractor's son. And first of all, he was our wonderful Lord and Savior, but he was born to this earth as a carpenter's son. And I don't believe that's accidental. God chose for his son to be raised in a builder's home. Think about that, to understand hard work, humility, craftsmanship, and service. Builders do matter. And if you're listening to this, if you're tired, uncertain, and wondering what the next season holds, I want you to know this. What you build matters, and you matter. As we head into the new year, my prayer is that you don't just build jobs, but build businesses that support your families, your faith, and your future. You were built for this, and you don't have to figure it out alone. If this episode has encouraged you, taught you something, or helped you feel less alone in your journey, I'd love for you to share it with another builder or business owner who needs it. And if you want to take the next step in mastering the business side of building, I invite you to stay connected, follow the show, leave a review, or check out the resources we share for builders just like you. This is more than a podcast. This is a community. From my family to yours, Merry Christmas, and may this season bring you peace, clarity, and renewed purpose. This is the Builder's Edge, and I'll see you on the next episode.